Hey, hey, hey. Hi, everyone. My name is Mboa Indim. I am an engineer in the aerospace industry. I currently live in Dallas. I moved to the States over a decade ago now, actually, from Cameroon to go to college and since stuck around to make some money. Um, After getting my degree, I have had the chance to work for quite a few companies here. I've worked for NASA, I've worked for the United States Air Force, and then I've also worked for two private corporations, two of the top aerospace companies in the world, one of which is my current employer, actually. Rumor has it that I am the first Cameroonian with a PhD in aerospace engineering. So I got my PhD a few years ago, and since doing that, joining the workforce full time, I've had two main goals. One of which has been to grow my career, and then the second one to improve my family's net worth, basically with the goal of reaching financial independence. Along the way, I've encountered a lot of people like myself who are Black people, who are migrants, who are women in STEM, who have not really had the tools that we all need to navigate the system effectively, right? I'm thinking about things like corporate America and also just generally building your net worth and becoming and growing your wealth. And so along the way, it's really been a passion of mine to try to figure out how to do this most effectively for my family, but also to provide a platform where we can talk about the tools that we can use to do this for ourselves. Basically, my goal is to reach financial independence and to become financially free for three main reasons. The first of which is just generally to improve quality of life. The second of which is to build and leave a legacy. And then finally, to be able to comfortably influence and add value to the communities that I come from and that I care about. So, talking about the quality of life aspect, when I think about that, I'm thinking about just doing little things without the stress of thinking about how we're going to afford the basic needs, right? Accommodation, food, education, healthcare. Just being able to be in a position to do that for myself, for some of my extended family, my friends, and just generally to be able to improve people's lives on a day-to-day basis. The second point is to be able to leave a legacy for my children. A few months ago, I became a mom, first time mom to an amazing little girl. And one thing that has become really critical, really important, is being able to leave her in a position that is better than where I started out from. And so one of my biggest goals is, making sure that we're living our lives in ways that we're going to allow her to navigate the system more simply. And that comes in terms of resources, in terms of education, and all of those cost money. So that has become a real priority, becoming financially independent so that we can leave a legacy for our daughter and any siblings that she might one day have. That is better than where we met the world. And then finally, in terms of community, this is the case for me, and I think it's the case for a lot of the people I know who are from underserved communities. It's really important to me to be able to give back to the places that raised me, to the places that molded me, right? But I think for a lot of us, it's really hard for us to go do work in those communities or to add value in those communities because we are not on solid financial footing. And so when I imagine the future, I think about a world where a lot of us, a large number of us, are financially stable, financially independent, and we can afford to go do work that we care about more, right? We can go to the communities that we care about, go to do work that we think adds value to those communities. I'm thinking about things like education, like healthcare, building the law, and just setting systems in place. I know that a lot of us really care about where we come from, but we're not in a stable position to just quit our jobs. But if we're financially free, then that gives us a lot more freedom to explore those more risky options. And I think by doing that, we'll be able to really come up with innovative solutions for the problems that our individual communities face. So, that's my dream. And I'm hoping that with this YouTube channel, I can reach out to a lot of us and hopefully convince some of you to go on this journey with me so that, a few years down the road, we're really the change that our communities need. Because I strongly believe that a lot of the solutions to some of our problems are in our hands. I'm not disregarding the systemic things, but, we can do what we can afford to do with the tools that we have. So if you know anybody who might be interested in this, any young professionals who are really trying to be intentional about growing professionally, about improving their net worth, or if you know any new migrants to the US, or really just any parents who have young children, high school age children, college age children, and could use some help navigating the system, or really just anyone that you think will be interested in this kind of content, please be sure to share with them. The goal is going to be to handle different topics as time goes on, starting out with personal finance, right? Things like debt, credit, how to invest, how to save, and things like that, because ultimately those are the things that we're really going to use to build our wealth. And then also education. Like I mentioned, I've spent a lot of time in school. So, and I've also helped my sisters transition into the system. So, I know a thing or two about how education in the United States works. So if you know anyone that could benefit from that, please definitely share this with them. I'll be happy to engage and kind of tackle some of the questions that people have. Also talking about navigating corporate America, because a lot of the time your income is your biggest tool to building wealth. Just talking about ways to navigate it, how to interview, how to negotiate your salary, how to ask for a raise, and things like that. And ultimately, small businesses, how to start one, things to consider, things of that nature. So I'm definitely really excited about going on this journey, because I think there are little things that we can do now that will really change the future for us, for our families, for our children, and for our communities. Very big on communities. The goal here is just to plant a little seed and just watch it bloom and watch it blossom. So again, if you're interested, please definitely subscribe so that you're aware whenever new videos come out handling topics that you might be interested in. And please share it to all your networks, because we're all in this together. Thank you, and see you soon.